Hi everybody, this is the Football Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Football Hut. Hope you like this video and subscribe as we talk about the New York Giants in Week 3 against the San Francisco 49ers. But before we get into that, obviously subscribe. From SI.com, New York Giants Week 3. Examining the San Francisco 49ers offense. Okay, let's see what this article has to say. It's time for the Giants to face their toughest matchup yet in the form of the San Francisco Giants. The Giants have probably the most difficult schedule of any team in the NFL. It's just completely ridiculous. Last season, the 49ers shocked the world by being an elite team that then went out and made a blockbuster trade for running back Christian McCaffrey, arguably the most versatile running back in the NFL in terms of being elite both as a runner and receiver. So far in 23, he has had 42 carries, with 42.8% of them going outside of the tackles. Although he's been relatively controlled when getting out in that space, averaging just 3.22 yards per carry outside the tackles. On the season, he's averaging 6.4 yards per carry and 5.33 yards after contact per carry. McCaffrey hasn't been a focal point of the passing game so far in 23 due to the emergence of Brandon Ayuk. But that could change this Thursday with Ayuk dealing with a shoulder injury and the Giants being an aggressive defense, allowing for more quick check down opportunities. Quarterback Brock Mr. Irrelevant Purdy has exceeded all expectations for his career, making the most of his opportunity in San Fran. Purdy isn't the most physically gifted quarterback on the planet, but he has the IQ to operate this offense at a high level. He's an accurate passer underneath who struggles when working downfield and can make plays with his legs either scrambling away from pressure or as a designed runner. But the 49ers dabbled in during 2022 but haven't looked for so far this season. The 49ers have two very good wide receivers in Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Both players are effective as route runners and have their roles carved out in this offense that put them in a position to succeed. Deebo is an offensive weapon that has been used as a wide back throughout his career, similar to how Percy Harvin was used at the University of Florida under Urban Meyer. Samuel hasn't lined up much in the backfield in 23, but he's still been involved as a ball carrier. He has operated primarily as the underneath pass catcher Purdy looks to as a safety valve with big play potential. Ayuk has always been a good receiver and even better route runner, but this season he seems to have come into his own as a true number one option. On 14 targets this season, he has 11 catches for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns with an average depth of target of 13.9 yards. George Kittle is arguably the best tight end in the NFL and has been for the past few seasons. Travis Kelce of the Chiefs is a glorified slot receiver, but that's a discussion for another day. I'm not going to get into an argument with this. I don't know. This is what they're saying. Kittle hasn't been as impactful in the passing game as usual. Still, similar to McCaffrey's production in the passing game, that's more about the receiver stepping up than anything involving Kittle. What's their scheme? Welcome to the Terror Dome. Head coach Kyle Shanahan and his coaching tree have made a living off of being able to stretch defenses in every way imaginable and give them fits in the run game while also clearing easy completions for their quarterback in the passing game. The Niners' constant movement pre-snap is built to make sure that the defense doesn't often get to run the initial play they were anticipating. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk and Samuel are the keys to that, with their positional versatility and usage all around the offense. With the wide zone style with the 49ers run, their offensive linemen and tight ends are required to block horizontally to create vertical rushing lanes for the ball carrier. That doesn't mean all of these runs go to the outside. Rather, the blocking is set to give the running back multiple options. And the passing game, the short pass is the bread and butter for this offense, as long as Purdy is the quarterback. Already 55.5% of his passes have traveled shorter than 10 yards past the line of scrimmage. These short passes allow for yards after the catch opportunities by dynamic playmakers. The Giants linebackers will be tested more than anyone else due to the amount of pre-snap movement. Tight end usage is the passing game, middle of the field focus, and the need to make plays in the running game. The Shanahan style has put the linebackers in the most difficult position possible, And that's not changing this week. What this means for the New York Giants. This is one of the toughest matchups for the Giants this entire season. From a personnel standpoint, the Niners have one of the most dynamic skill position groups in the NFL, with playmakers at every level. This is the game where Giants fans will get to see linebacker Bobby Okereke have the most responsibility possible, and is also where Isaiah Simmons should play more than he's played to this point. As mentioned, the Shanahan style is to put linebackers in the most difficult position possible. The Giants investing big money in Okereke and trading for Simmons. Now is the time, and the hut means the time, to show that this coaching staff has a plan for these players. Luckily for the Giants, the best way to demolish zone blocking, is to clog the rushing lanes with defensive linemen, then have linebackers fill the remaining gaps, and safeties have to come up and make the tackle in the run game. It's not the most creative thought process, but the Giants, need to accept that the Niners will be able to complete short passes. It's just important to come up, make the tackle at the completion or after the handoff. Okay, after a rough showing last week, where even the Arizona Cardinals offense looked good against the Giants defense, New York has to have a big bounce back performance against a strong offense and offensive line. This is probably the toughest offense of the season the Giants will face outside of the Eagles whenever they figure things out. This sure would be a good game for the inconsistent Giants defense to finally show it's gelled. Now, a couple of things about the Giants. They are, I guess, a 10.5 point underdog going into this game. So the Giants are up against it. But they had an excellent second half. If they come out with that kind of energy against the Cardinals, if they have that kind of energy against the Niners, they will have a fighting chance in the game. Will they win the game? Probably not. But hopefully they have that kind of that high energy, that sort of possessiveness, obsessiveness, possessiveness that they had in the second half, especially Daniel Jones. They should be an entertaining game. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Football Hut. Thank you, and I'll see you later.